And a great big hey howdy hey to all my lovely goofy goobers out there. Welcome back to Animanic with Comic Auzi, where we talk about pretty much any piece of media as long as it's animated. I nailed it! I actually got it right on the first try this time. Okay, so tonight we're going to be watching a Disney classic known as Bambi. Now, Bambi's an interesting picture for a number of different reasons. Not only one of those reasons being that I haven't watched this movie in a long time, but you probably haven't either. A lot of people in the chat over here, Michaela over there, talking about Bambi 2. So, and that kind of demonstrates Bambi on the whole, really? Because people don't know Bambi. Like you know Bambi, but like, what do you think of when you think of Bambi? You think of like Thumper, Flower the Skunk, and the mom getting shot. Those are the things that people think of when they think of this movie. Maybe you think of April showers or the ice skating scene, but other than that, people don't think of this movie very often. At least not that I've seen. Like, as far as Disney movies that get talked about over and over again, even the classic Snow White and even Pinocchio gets talked about a lot more than this movie. And even Snow White gets talked about less than Pinocchio, for surprising for how significant it is. But people still talk about Fantasia. Nobody's talking about Bambi. So, like, as far as Bambi is concerned, it is the least likely to get a live-action remake for a number of different reasons. Number one, there's no recognizable songs that people think of. Again, April showers. Maybe the die-hard Disney fans think of Drip Drip Drop Little April Showers, but aside from that, what other songs are there? Nothing. You got Twitter Pated and just what basically amounts to a wildlife documentary, but they're not even gonna try that angle for a live-action remake because this movie is not that remembered. It must have done something for like Walt's studio, but like they were financially struggling mostly because of the war, which we'll come back to in the next movie next week. But for all intents and purposes, this movie is underrated as a Disney film and also similarly overrated. The Lion King before The Lion King? Well, actually doubly true in that, Blue Heart, because the animators actually brought deer into the studio to look at, much like they brought actual lions into the studio for Lion King. So yeah, this actually basically is Lion King before Lion King. But anyway, I'd also like to warn you guys that I'll give the countdown, but my movie begins with the old Disney Castle logo before the RCA logo, so it won't be perfectly in sync with Disney Plus, so you'll have to like wait for the timing a little bit. So everybody get your copy of the movie ready, and we shall begin in 3, 2, 1, press it. Here we go. That's a classic logo I totally miss. I miss it. Oh, wait. Hang on, wait. I just realized something. The classic Disney logo is actually a replacement for the RCA logo because the music plays over it. So everybody stop. Sorry. Okay, so we're gonna start over one more time, okay? 3, 2, 1, start. That's my fault for not having the sound on initially. That was totally my fault. Walt Disney presents Bambi. What is a song that never ends? From the story by Felix Dalton. Supervising director David D. Hand. This song is interesting because this song, I do not remember this song. Love is a song that never ends. And just another example of this movie kind of flying under a lot of people's radar in the modern day. Just whoosh, never remember this song. I'm gonna forget this song after the movie because I'm talking over it. It's a very beautiful melody, though. And that'll probably be stuck in my head for a little... Milk call! You know someone was made for the job when they're named Art. To Sidney A. Franklin, our sincere appreciation for his inspiring thing. Okay. Okay. And as for classic Disney films that influence the more recent stuff, even in like the past 30 years, this right here, this song, or like this sequence, you can see the trees and the density of the forest. Very much reminded us of another Disney movie that opens with an incredibly dense forest. Eh? Eh? And then we open up to a clearing as well. Beauty and the Beast copied Bambi's homework. Oh, this is so pretty. Oh God. Okay, I'm loving the way the light is catching on everything. The way that's painted is so the water. Oh, the water. The reflections in the water. Oh God. Okay. And more incredibly beautiful water, where it's incredibly deceptively simple too, because like you're just using white lines and blue lines. And also think of the parts where they have to swap out pieces because you can't fit all of this on the multiplane camera. And then you realize, oh shit, they got to do that really smooth. And they did. Here's everyone's favorite character that they forgot existed. Or at least as adults, because we all relate. Can we relate? As a kid, you relate more to Thumper or Flower, and as an adult, you relate to this guy, Mr. Owl. I don't think he has a different name than that, but I guess I'll be proven wrong or right when his name is brought up. And again, we see, similarly to Dumbo, that the lines aren't all black. They're actually being done in color, which is so interesting. Yeah. Oh, and the chipmunk sleeping under the squirrel's tail. Oh, the woods are bustling. And here we go, what Disney does best. Just gag work. Also, it's unsurprising that this movie doesn't have the 11-second warning at the front, because it is so uncompromisingly unproblematic, because it's all about animals, with just animals. They're just animals. There's no racial coding for any of them. There are no humans in the movie on screen. Oh, that looks really comfy. Anybody ever do that? Like when you, like, I watched Jungle Book growing up a lot, and I always like rubbed myself up against a wall like Baloo was doing against the tree. It was always looked so cozy. Woohoo! The forest is a bustle. They just line right up. Yeah, forget the nut. not the chipmunk though. Yeah, he's just friend owl. Otters? Where did you see otters? Everything is so deceptively simple from a modern day lens. Because like, when you think crossfade from one image to the next, it's like, oh, that's such a simple thing to do. Just put it in the program and plug it in. But the crossfade back in the day, they had to expose the camera at different levels. And map the footage on top of itself. I mean, it is hard. You ever seen a deer or any other horse-like animal give birth? It's a process. He's experiencing the world for the first time. Don't overwhelm the poor guy. Exactly. Don't do that. The flutter. Whose decision was that? That's just the flutter of the eyes is just super funny. Look at that. And sure, they're referencing real deer. Like I said, they brought deer into the studio to reference this animation, but they're also adding such a human element. Because isn't it so relatable? It's like just figuring out how to walk. And just seeing babies try to do it for the first time. Look at his spindly legs. Look at him go. I mean, you get on his case about being wobbly. He had to, like, fall 2 feet to the ground. However tall the mom is. Again, just simple little gags. I'm getting Yen Sid, thusly Walt vibes from the owl, just glaring at everyone. You know what I'm saying? It's like, Bambi. Bambi. That owl isn't a meme, he should be. I mean, you say that, but like most things become a meme because of how, you know, versatile they are. Oh, hello. Also deceptively simple. He's just standing there. One image, no animation. Just pan the camera up to him and see his intimidating stature. It's such a simple thing. He's still getting the hang of it. He's still getting the hang of it. Good morning, young prince. Aww. Well, that little birdie was a sweetheart. Look at that confident strut. I'm getting very Disney possums vibes, you know, like I was at Disneyland like last month, and on Big Thunder Mountain there's like a branch with a bunch of sleeping possums on it, and this train speeds by so fast they start spinning around the branch, and they all kind of look like that. I call the big one Bitey. Oh no, oh no! Oh, oof. Yes. Deer are very sturdy. Mm-hmm. Don't say nothing at all. I think they're doing a really good job about humanizing their movements without, like, you know, giving them hands. Like the way the mother crosses her arms, it doesn't look human. It looks like what a rabbit might look like if they were crossing their arms. It's really, really well done. Really well done. As opposed to Robin Hood and Zootopia, which we'll come across later. This is definitely not a furry movie. This is just animals doing animal things. But I mean, if the only thing that qualified animals being in the furry area was having human eyes, then all these animals would count because they all have human eyes. It's like, those are not what deer's eyes look like. Those are not what rabbit's eyes look like. They're beady little friggers that just have giant pupils that make their eyes look like dots, you know? This is true of a lot of animals. You got it. I mean, no. We're doing all the movies in order, so Aristocats won't come until after Jungle Book, and that won't come for a while. Oh, halfway there. Well, he ain't got the right kicking legs. Whoa, oh. That looked potentially painful. Tripped over himself. Did you hear it on the grapevine? No, he was tripping over himself. Bird. Do a little nose wiggle. Don't overwhelm the poor boy now. Come on. Oh, God. Everything is new. It's like, what is that? It's a flat bird. Spun around completely. You just absolutely. You know what? We'll get to that in a minute. We'll discuss that when the movie gets quiet, but we'll wait until it happens. It's a flower. Purdy. It's Purdy, SpongeBob. Hello. There's some sense of irony here. Let's see. I highly doubt they would have brought a skunk into the studio, though. Just throwing that one out there. Whoa. That's a good idea. Flower's such a sweetie. It's the eyelashes mostly. I think it's mostly the eyelashes. Animal dimorphism and cartoon dimorphism are very different things. Am I saying that right? Yeah. Okay, this right here is a true culmination of, like, the Fantasia, you know, problem. Like I was bringing up when we were talking about Fantasia. Just let the segment speak for itself. And to put even further of an impact on that, we have original music along with this, so it actually conveys what the animators want it to. And yes, I was trying to do that to the beat. You know, it's not unfair. And once again, we got a nice demonstration of water animation. So my thought is, like, obviously the drops have to be completely custom animated. But if the actual falling rain, especially when it's falling this fast, with Dumbo I thought, like, oh, they probably just filmed something and then laid it over the animated background, you know? And here I'm thinking a similar thing, but maybe instead of, you know, filming actual water and then, you know, coloring it blue in the film footage in the you know, process of, you know, compositing the thing, instead they actually do animation with it. So it's like you have these scribbles of lines on a piece of celluloid, and instead of just like leaving that there, you just kind of scrolling it across the screen, you know? Obviously the bigger a raindrop is, the more custom animated it has to be. Okay, this has to be animated. That seemed a little too well done from that specific angle. We really get a nice demonstration of how nature is beautiful, but beauty can also be kind of terrifying. And again, look at the way they're lighting them, too. It's not so simple as just a flat color on top of it. They're actually doing it as like a faded... It fades from light to dark. You can see like that rim lighting. Which again, like if you were to do that in Photoshop, there's like a simple filter for something like that. But like back then they had to handcraft those highlights and those elements. Oh God, that's pretty. Oh, just the golden sky with the trees and the birds. God, that is so beautiful. Aw, you finally managed to get to sleep. And you can see that with the there we are. That ripple. Again, I feel like they're like using some like warped glass or something and just moving it across the image or something. No. Wait, nope. I'm jumping the gun a little bit. Off they go. God, when you know what's going to happen, God. 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 Like when you know. God, okay. When you know what's coming up it feels that much more tense. And also just the atmosphere in general, how gray and dismal it is. And again, it only really works being this gray and this intimidating by the fact that we've had a lot of color. No? And that's my hot take on live action movies in general. Your gray and dullardness is not going to work well if it doesn't have substantial contrast. No. Again, I was jumping the gun. Again, when you know it's coming, you're just waiting for it. It's just, it's so unnerving. And I think a little bit of color is starting to come back into the world now. Still pretty gray and foggy. You see the grass is taking over the color palette. Duck! They got a duck! Oh. Hello, Quacker. Well, you're all wet now. What does it matter? Get in the water. Not so much like full gag work, just like a. Your father tells you a lot. Cheeky little booger. Good God. Frog seems like a little bit of a pessimist. I mean, you know what water is, right? Otherwise, you'd be a really thirsty deer right now. You know, not entirely unrelated. I think Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer probably, speaking of thirsty, I think Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer probably took a few cues from Bambi here. Look at how beautiful it is! Ah, see? There's so much more color and life here. It's warmer than the cool, scary fog earlier. Oh. This is what courtship looks like in the animal kingdom, I guess. Well, she is excitable. Oh. On a cold morning like this, here in the water. She finds this super amusing, doesn't she? This is all really well done. I love it. No, off he goes. Bring around the mother. The way she got stuck between the legs. Look at him go. I think they miscolored her eyes. They're supposed to be blue. Just notice, it's like, wait a minute. Those eyes are the wrong color, aren't they? Ah, again, here's a demonstration of what Fantasia could be. Look at him go. A gallop and a canter. And a trot. The little four-legged creature hiding from the larger herd of galloping hooved creatures. I get a feeling like... that Lion King copied Bambi's homework. Only a little more death-defying. Hello. Oh. 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 Oh, I'm loving this. There's tail between legs, I've noticed, because their tails are not up. I guess their tails are really only up when they need to be. Just stark contrast with the way they drew his face with so much detail. And very beautiful. Grand creatures. Yeah. I think that right there is our first inclination that he's Bambi's father. Right there, like they say he's the prince and Bambi's the little prince. Everything's just so well put together. It's just so concise. And again, what a grand beast. Look at this guy. Now his tail's out. I think the animators finally actually got out of their rooms for a minute and actually went on nature walks to see how this should work. Oh no. Please tell me we're not there yet. We'd better not be there yet. Oh god. We're there, aren't we? Oh Lord, I hope not. boy. It's getting really tense. God. Oh. Oh, God. God, no. Fuck me. That is horrible. Ah. Oh, God. Okay, this movie is underrated. Like, God, this is tense. Oh, God. Oh, my God. How do you know? Hey, to each their own, I suppose. Well, this is very pretty leaves animation. I wonder if they recycled this for the Winnie the Pooh shorts, because it does seem somewhat like they could have. Obviously not the cells, but definitely, like, take the drawings. No! But definitely similar, like, again, Disney had the same old animators for a long time, and so it's not unreasonable to say that the same animator wasn't responsible for the leaves. Because I am getting Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day vibes from these leaves. Making me think, it's gotta be the same guy, right? Come on. 2 more. Oh, there goes 1. Right, your turn. Yep, there you go. Just a nice, hard contrast. Leaves basically painted black against the background. It's just... ah, so nice. All that? Looks cold. Wait a minute. Just right in there. Ah, oh, beautiful, beautiful, and well animated too. God. That's adorable. Good Lord. God. Stop it, Bambi. Stop it. I think that might have been an invention for the sequel. I don't think he has a name in the movie here. And we'll get there. I'd like to know when that Donald Duck ice skating cartoon came out, you know, with the one with the 3 nephews, where he's wearing the big jacket that looks like a bell. Here we go. Here's the classic scene. Everyone remembers this. I'm pretty sure you've seen it in some capacity or other. Actually, the water's stiff. That's one way of describing it. Oh no, poor baby. Look at a starfish across that ice. Just imagine if you threw a starfish and then it was spinning. Look at him go. This is friggin' natural. I think your little paw pads do a lot better than his slippery hoofs. They reused that laugh from earlier. I mean, it's a good laugh. I can definitely see why they would want to reuse that take as much as possible. Because, like, that was a good laugh. Good giggle. Love it. You're not going to get a kid to laugh like that very often. All the details of the actual... Yes, he is wobbly. He's twice your size and standing on stilts. He's going to be wobbly, Thumper. Oh no! Oh, he's going. How dainty. Let's see if we can fix this here. Hey, what do you know? Here we go. I think I know, like, a Disney sing-along where they had, like, a couple of the songs from Song of the South. They had like, Zippity Doodah and Laughing Place. And Zippity Doodah just featured clips straight up from Song of the South. But Laughing Place featured a segment sung by the Disney Children's Choir, basically. And it featured clips from this scene of Thumper laughing at Bambi falling down and stuff like that. Flower. Leave the poor boy alone. Yep. You know, that's doubly correct. He took me in the morning. Thank you, Blue Heart. That's great. No, but for realsies, like, that is true. Like, skunks hibernate, but also flowers. Flowers also hibernate for the winter. I mean, flowers that you find in the meadow, they all die and then they regrow. And here we go. Nom nom. I mean, I know bark and beef are not the same thing, but I want jerky now. The bark looked like jerky in their mouths. A demonstration of something I think a lot of people overlook is that not every animal hibernates during the winter. Bears do it, bees do it, even uneducated fleas do it, but like birds, they fly to different climates, and deer, well, they get hungry. Yep. Now that is true. Isn't there some perfectly good bark right there? I think it would have been a nice detail if an artist had done their little den with the bark gnawed off. Slow down, Bambi. Save some grass for everyone. Oh shit. Oh god. We're here, aren't we? Oh no. On the white, open fields of snow where you couldn't miss them. Oh boy. Oh god. I think the bark is peeled off of those trees though. It's not like they ran out of bark to eat. Bark is full of fiber and nutrients. Could have just eaten some more bark. God. Oh, and this super thick, beautifully animated snow. God. Just showing how lost he feels. God. And the whole reason that Bambi's mother died, I don't know if it was in the original book that this is based on or not, but the reason is because Walt Disney had bought a home for his parents somewhere. Anyway, Walt had bought a home for his parents in Florida. And unfortunately, due to some issue, there was a gas leak. Yeah, there was a gas leak or carbon monoxide. There was an issue in the house, and Walt felt responsible because he put his parents in that house. He put them up in that house, and yeah, so he felt kind of guilty. And whiplash. God! Okay, you hear the jokes about it, but then you actually watch it and it's like, whiplash! Woo! Let's just fucking go! God. I guess the assumption was that everybody was already crying their eyes out and then we just needed a pick-me-up? I feel like we could have, like, transitioned a little smoother. Like, we could have heard flutes over the treetops and then panned down into the little brook, and then everything picks up, and then the song kicks in. Just ease us in. La 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 la. God, it's well animated. Not gonna lie. Spring, spring, spring. And the only bird who's not having any of this at all is that one. That is a really nice animation right there. Tweet, 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 tweet. You're just grumpy because you can't find a mate, huh? You're just grumpy because you can't get a date. That's what you're all about. Crossing your wings like arms always looks kind of strange. Now, what the hell are you doing there, lad? That's really well done. Oh, look at him. Oh, yeah? Is that Sterling Holloway? Was it? It does sound like Sterling Holloway. Hang on, I'm gonna Google this. Yep, it's Sterling Holloway. Damn. Now that's just cartoon owl logic right there. Oh, well, no, he turned his head back around. Love it. Yep. It's just been so silly about it. Good grief. I think that might just be the most, like, natural speaking voice of Sterling Holloway. But it is him. That is so interesting, because we usually hear him doing that, hello, kind of voice, you know? It's like, today's story is called, Peter and the Wolf. But it's like, you never really think about, like, how it's like what his voice would actually sound like when he's not just putting on that kind of soft-spoken performance. I maybe heard that Winnie the Pooh type voice from the from the last movie with the stork. Hello. It's like we have this idea of what Sterling Holloway's voice sounds like, but it's like here we just have him as Flower just talking normally, but there are some parts that the men get horny. Well, off he goes. What's black and white and red all over? An embarrassed skunk. Just a couple of polecats. Just a golden bunny. Just a couple of rabbits. Imagine it's hares. Hares that have longer ears and larger bodies in general. Of course, there are many different kinds of rabbits. Wave hello. Be polite. Again, I don't have to wonder how much of this comes from the book and how much then they just do this in service to just silly. That, again, gag work. Like I was saying way back when I watched Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. A lot of gag work. A lot of comedy. Because that's what animation does well. Look at his claws going off. Jeez, dude, calm down. Little fuzzy bunny tail. Just playing with his ear. They'll be multiplying soon. Yeah. What, so basically just the character names? And just the general idea of... You're kind of wobbly, aren't you? Oh, someone's stuck. It's got a little walleye there. Welcome to Dreamland, kid. Just prance about. That's one leaping gallop, I gotta say. Okay. Oh, hello. She doesn't address him by name. Yeah, no. He don't have a name. He is the deer with no name. Off they go. And here we go. Oh, this is beautiful. This is so beautiful. Look at the use of colors here. It's all about the artistic idea of their fight. Conveying their emotions with a sense of ferocity. And damned if they ain't doing that, they're getting in a one hell of a tussle. Animals can be really cruel and intense. And that's from an Animal Kingdom standpoint. From the human relatable element of this film, is an angle of like, imagine some jackass is harassing your girl. Like, don't do that. And yes, even you lesbians and bisexuals out there can also relate that. Kick the other person's ass. Just do it. Stand up for your girl. Okay, that was... You know, with all the effects in this movie, the light on the grass wasn't as good as some other stuff. Yeah, that's kind of... I don't know, it's kind of weak. I mean, it kind of just seems like a spotlight being put on the grass, you know? This is much better. Ah, the water. The way the light is catching them. Kind of a moon on the breast of the new fallen snow situation, especially with how dark. Ooh, lightning bugs. Okay, probably not lifted directly, but this animation of like the puffs and leaves in the wind definitely had an influence on The Lion King, and also the other movie I'm thinking of, Pocahontas. The color choices specifically. Ah, look at them! Look at the contrast! Look at the contrast! Look at the gold! Look at the deer in gold and the petals in pink, and the entirety of the blue background. That is so pretty. The leaves are falling down. All the leaves are brown. Horn. Sound the horn. He heard that. He heard that. He heard that. Boy. Roll, roll, roll in the hay. Thank you, Blue Heart. Oh boy. That one red leaf there. Stuck to that branch. Not anyone would point that out. Can you believe she's holding a plate of corn in this scene? Uh-oh. That is an establishment. Yeah. What is that bastard doing here? Yeah, don't forget Feline. Bambi. Yeah, I'd be freaked out too. Well, yeah, part of the cloud coverage and also the smoke kind of bleeds into it. I'm really setting something up here. God. Oh, God, no! Buddy system. Oh, God. Oh, God. I was kind of confused how she got up so quickly and just wandered off when I already thought she'd been with child already. You know, especially since springtime had sprung and everyone had got all Twitter-pated, which we all know what that means. Okay, everybody, huddle down, hunker down. Quails in the grass. Don't get excited. Oh, God, corpse! God! No! Oh, shit! Oh, God. You actually see the fucking body. God, can I even comment on the animation here? Everything is just moving so quickly. And it's so well done. Again, we're just viscerally in the world of animals. No more human element here, aside from Bambi calling out for his wife. But, like, come on, dude. Come on. Ah, there she is. Again, they're just running. It's a mad dash. Get the oh, wow, those are unfriendly aminals. Oh, no. Getting really well drawn. Oh, man. Well, okay, yeah. That is scary. Get the fuck away. You ain't nothing but a hound dog. Oh, shit. They got wise. I don't know what's worse, having their dead black eyes or tiny little pupils in the whites of their eyes. Just either way, they look terrifying. That is worth note. I like that. Do you know her name? Who animated these dogs? She did a great job. Because I know that pretty common in the animation departments of every studio back in the day, whether it be Disney, Fleischer, Warner Brothers, or even of iWorks' own studio. What is definitely true is that women were typically in the ink and paint department, and it's one of those. Rita Scott, oh, she did a great job. Those dogs are. Oh no! Oh, he's still moving. He's still moving. God. Anyways, kind of a dated, kind of sexist idea. That women just have more delicate hands for the fine work of tracing the animator's work with ink and then painting in all the fine details. I think anyone can have a delicate hand. I think more so what would be implied, which is a physical commonality with most women, but probably not all women, is having small hands. So if you have small hands, then you could probably do a lot of work in the ink and paint department. Hell, even Studio MDHR followed that line of logic because it was one of the brothers' wives who was doing the inks, inking in all the animators' work. Oh, yes. Please get up. Again, it's so simple. They just have him stand there. And the light cast on him. He doesn't have to move. He just stand there. Do you know what the name of the biography is called? Remember, only you can prevent forest fires. Oh, the purple! Away from the fire. And there's no more purple! There's no more purple in this game too! Help! I think Bambi could basically be called Nature, the film. You know, because if Bambi got rid of its character title, Queens of Animation, okay, cool. I'll be sure to check that out. But like, if Bambi were to have one of the, like, it had its name title, like Rapunzel, Bambi got the Tangled treatment, it would be called Nature, because that is the movie. It is nature, and it would actually be fitting to call it that. But the reason why it's called Bambi is that we're seeing nature through Bambi's eyes, specifically. We put a lot of focus on where Bambi is in all of this. God, we didn't even see the splashdown. Oh, God. Again, how... like, some warped glass. They had to be using some warped glass to do that, because it's so intensively, like, utilized in such a way. The possums are okay! If you guys were worried at all, the possum lives! Swim! Swim, little Nutria, swim like your life's dependent on it. Now she's just waiting with everyone. You think the men drove themselves out of the forest with that damn fire? Like, I mean, barring that, you could also make the assumption that they are gone and will not come back again because of how horribly they fucked up, you know? If they lost their dogs, if their dogs died in that fire, they'd be really upset. If they died in that fire, they wouldn't be able to give a shit anymore. Oh god, the beauty of nature. Like the half burned down forest and the life that still lives there. Ah, Owl's got his tree again. Thumper's at it. Thumper's on his shit again. You know, Thumper's voice is also kind of familiar. I'm gonna look that up again. Yep, that's. Peter Ben, it probably was. No idea who Peter Ben is. Anyway. Always put out a campfire when you leave. If you were gonna go hunting, you needed to stop that fire. You needed to put it out. Twinsies! Twinsies! Don't think you pulled the wool over my eyes. Aww. Aww. And there he is. Father and son. Didn't think they'd actually move. There you go. We have much to do, Prince. Either that, or he stepped down and his son has taken his place. God. So fucking pretty! I've walked there. I mean, I haven't, but it's like if you've ever gone on any kind of a nature walk, whether it be treacherous hiking trails or just like a wooden boardwalk in the back half of some neighborhood or local area, then you've seen those things. You've seen those trees. It's so pretty. It's so restoration team. I wonder if these restoration team credits are on your guys' end. Animation Research Library. Yeah, because like I said, the Library of Congress Motion Picture Conservation Center, Daytona, Ohio. Thank you, the National Archive. Thank you, National Archive. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Re-recorded at Buena Vista Sound Studio. Re-recording mixers. Like, wait. What do you mean by re-recording? I mean, I guess you need to go back to the raw audio files. But God, still go back to the raw audio files. That was a delightful movie, you know? I am, like, I will always love... Okay, I will always love the, I will always love Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And its major significance in Walt Disney wanting to adapt the story that he had seen adapted as a silent film back in the day. And I love that. But Bambi, aside from Dumbo, could truly be called Walt's own film. You know, it's like, sure, they had source material that was created by someone else, but he really brought the artists he always brought the right artists onto these movies. It's like, it cannot be understated that if the animators are what kept the ship sailing, then Walt Disney was the captain of the SS animated feature. You know, that's basically what it's like. It's like everyone else on the crew, you know, does everything they do in their power to keep this ship afloat, but it always is defaulting to whether or not Walt says yes or no. So, like, it cannot be understated that he definitely had his influences, his handprints all over this. You can see a bit of like that Fantasia feel, or if you like watch Silly Symphonies, there's the Old Mill cartoon, which that's a great cartoon. It's I think actually I'm gonna go check that out right now because I don't want to think, I want to know, because a lot of you guys are probably on Disney Plus right now. So while you guys are on Disney Plus, look for the Old Mill. It's an old cartoon from, let's see, when was this? 1937, so about the same year that Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs came out. So, the Old Mill. Very much like just framing nature and a thunderstorm around specifically this mill. Like we framed nature around Bambi specifically in this movie. And the animation's so beautiful. It all holds up. It is so good. And even from a comedy standpoint, some of the cartoon gags in this were really good. Like Bambi in the fucking white clouds heaven, just fucking... and then it gets interrupted by Jackass Deer. I love it. I love it. It's so good and tense. Like you thought the Pyramid of Pachyderms was tense when they were all falling down all over the place. Like, sure, that was tense. But this movie, God, had me clutching my chest. Literally. You can go back and look. I was clutching my chest. Like, God, so fucking tense. God, so good. So good. Love it to death. That was probably one of the best films we've seen so far. Again, love Snow White, and I watched that ways a while ago. But, like, we're basically watching these movies back to back. So from, like, Pinocchio, this, yeah, like, I love Pinocchio. Pinocchio's a great film, but this might be the most solid, even from a narrative standpoint. Like, Pinocchio moves from one scene to the next, and it's great. And it's all in service to a lot of the gags, and a lot of the scenes come from the book. Like, you know, going with the traveling puppet show, or to Pleasure Island, those come from the, or Monstro, those all come from the book. But, like, they kind of put them together in, like, a sequence of events. It's like, okay, they're more like cause and effect in a certain extent, but this movie really, like, nailed that cause and effect. Even that gap of time where Bambi has probably been gone, like, he hasn't been in the forest. Like, so Bambi 2 kind of fills in the gaps, and that kind of shows Bambi was still in the forest with Friend Owl and Thumper, but it's like, the movie implies that he went away, you know? Like, this is not the spring immediately after that winter. He wouldn't have been full grown like that yet. So it would have had to have been a year. He would have had to have been gone for a year and then returned the spring thereafter. Which, you know, would make some sense, right? Because, like, it would give him the time to grow older and larger. It would contextualize everything. But yeah, no, I love it. I love it. I'm gonna sing its praises. Just repeat myself over and over again. But I gotta pee. I gotta go to the bathroom, and we're pretty much done with the movie now anyway. So thank you all so much for joining me. If you're viewing this after the fact, thanks for watching. I hope you all had a good time this evening with beautiful fucking movie, just gorgeous. I could complain to hell and back about like fucking Dan Greenman or whatever the fuck his name was, Dean Taylor or something, who was introducing all the Fantasia segments. Just shut the fuck up and let it play. But this movie really did right by what Fantasia wanted to do with the April shower sequence and the deer over the meadow and the cymbal crashes whenever they passed over the rocks. Just great. It's great. It's beautiful. And I love it. Until next time, remember to take care and stay safe and be kind to all that you do. Good night, everybody!